You cannot. Hold on. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You
activate.
better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Before I get them, Lord.
Activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Activate. Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way. So
Holy Spirit,
you
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hi. Hi. Good morning, everyone. Oh, my word. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Let me pause this because, sometimes it's just like to talk. Absolutely. How are y'all doing? Good morning. Good morning. I'm drinking on my coffee, y'all. As soon as I leave here, I'm going to the gym. Yeah, I'm going to the gym, and then I have to go get my kids. So I'm working on the survivings, whatnot. So I'm just like, no, Mel Cruz, no moderator, no girl. Marsha, I'm right here. Duh. You don't see me, girl? I'm right here, girl. What that word? What that word? Why? First, I'm right here. First, y'all is trying it already. Already. Gizmos, you can see me. Oh, nice smell your breath. Hello, everyone. Welcome back, girl, to another Sean David show. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What? My channel mama. Comments about her outfit, girl. Girl, my face is right to her. My face is right to her. No, y'all don't. No, y'all don't. See, I need because y'all is spoiled. See, y'all spoiled. Y'all is spoiled. Locate your look. Y'all, ho ho ho. Chillaxing, ho ho ho. Y'all is spoiled. Is what the Carolyn. Don't do that, girl. Oh God. Why can't I just be an avatar? My word. Face barely washed. Y'all, I'm about to go to the gym. I look a mess. Okay? That's what that word. All right? Now I'm just jumping on here real quick. All right? We're not about to be here a whole long time. Girl. It's a shame. Ooh. That is sad. That is sad. I be in other people's chat and they be in their avatar. They people don't say nothing. And they people don't say nothing. But then as soon as I want to have an avatar, oh, we need your face. Why? Like, oh my word, y'all are spoiled. Lord, they spoiled. We done spoiled them, Lord. Now we supposed to do with these spoiled people. Now we got to wean them off the bottle, Lord. They want to keep their pacifier stuck on the bottle. I mean, keep stuck on the bottle. All right. Like, oh, whatever. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm Funky First, looking a mess, whatever. Take me as I am. So take me. Okay, so I'm hair flip. So now I wasn't really planning on being on camera. I got remotes and stuff in the way, Lord, and got all my surviving notes out, Lord. And whatever. So welcome back to my show. Oh, I didn't turn the lights on. Oh well, see this because I wasn't planning on being on camera. That's what that were. So ooh. It's a shame y'all this damn spoiled. It really is. But anyways, so the title says E! News and Cardi B confirms fight between Offset and Quavo. Offset lied about the altercation. Now I want y'all to cash at me, Barty Gang. Because I was right. I was right. Let me pull me up. I was right. I was absolutely right. Y'all tried it. Y'all was in my comments, still in my comments, talking about Offset said it's not true. Offset says it's not true. Okay, like I said, what that word? What that word? Let's get to. Let's see. It's right. Right. Let's start right here. Now, yesterday of the day, y'all, I said what that word, and what that word was that Offset and Quavo, they really did get into an altercation. Like I said, it didn't have to be a big one, but I do feel like it happened. I do think that happened. So with TMZ reporting it, you know, and whatnot, people are like, oh no, he's Offset says it's not true. Offset said it's not true. He even posted on his what was it, Twitter, you know, and whatnot. I said, I think you lying. I literally said it. Like I said, he lying. That's what that were. Cardi made a song called Be Careful. He came forward and said, I ain't cheating on my wife. That was a lie too. So yeah, he lied. Why the you lying? Good. So yeah, I said that. I'm like, yeah, he's lying. They do that. I mean, I do survivings. I mean, it's pretty in depth, you know, with what be going on in the ins and outs Hollywood. And like I said, you lying. Okay. Now let's listen to me tell the truth. Cash App Shine Everywhere Show. Offset came forward. Let me pull that up. Offset comes forward and he stated, what the F look like fighting my brother? Y'all ninjas is crazy, right? So Offset says that didn't happen. Now I'm going to say this about the situation. Offset, I think you're lying. I think you're lying. I do. I think that you are in denial, I guess. I don't know if publicly you want to make it seem as if you and Quavo aren't at odds, but you clearly are. Because there's no reason you should not have been a part of that besides someone not wanting it. And I believe that Quavo didn't want it, because if Quavo wanted you to be a part of the performance, then that definitely would have happened. It would have happened. It didn't happen. Let me pull that up. Offset comes forward and he stated, what the F look like fighting my brother? Y'all ninjas is crazy, right? So Offset says that didn't happen. Now, I'm going to say this about the situation. Offset, I think you're lying. Mhm. I think you're lying. I do. I think that you are in denial, I guess. I don't know if publicly you want to make it seem as if you and Quavo aren't at odds, but you clearly are. Because there's no reason you should not have been a part of that besides someone not wanting it. And I believe that Quavo didn't want it because if Quavo wanted you to be a part of the performance, then that definitely would have happened. It would have happened. It didn't happen because Quavo does not want anything to do with you. And I don't know why. Okay, shut up, Sean. So yeah. He lied. Boom. So I'm your hair flip. So let's get into because there was so many people yesterday in the comments like, oh, Offset said he lied that they're lying. Offset said that they're lying. I'm like, yeah, Offset even posted it, and I still think he lying. What about it? What about it? I'm like, what about it? Okay, you said that to say what? He's still lying. Okay. That's fine. That also that's what you do so that you could, try to, get rid of a story immediately, just act as if it didn't happen, but it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It absolutely didn't. The only reason we know that Solange and Beyonce and Jay-Z had that altercation in the elevator is because it was on camera. If it was not on camera, we would have never known. We would have no idea. No idea. Because Solange could have did all that at the event. She didn't. She waited till they were alone. So again, yeah, they were alone when that happened. So because she could have did it right there. Y'all hit the like, 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 please. Please hit the like, please, please, please. It's almost 600 people in here. Get those likes up, please, please, please. So yeah, again, so we would have never known about, and it's no different than the situation right here. It wasn't literally caught on camera. So we don't see it. We can't say what happened and what didn't happen, but it didn't mean that it didn't happen. That's also, even if it was a small scuffle, it doesn't mean that because a physical altercation broke out that somebody was beat to a pulp, or something like. No, that doesn't mean that at all. It could have been a very quick physical interaction between the men. And I said that yesterday. I haven't said it in the live. Like, yeah, they could have just whether they grabbed them or pushed them. I feel like that did happen. That's not far-fetched, or anything like that. And like I said, they're still raw, from what happened to Takeoff. There's still a lot of emotion that these two men haven't worked out. You can feel the tension between them. So I think that it's safe to say that happening makes complete sense. And then Quavo again is still hanging around the Prince family, the same people that are threatening Offset and his well-being. So there has to be problems because why would Quavo even think it's okay to even be affiliated with set people? Because they believe in the check-in thing. Quavo and Takeoff, they were allegedly checking in with Jay Prince, but clearly Offset isn't. So I think it's a respect thing here. Also being involved with what's going on. But again, like I'm like, no, he clearly lying. Honestly, if you ask me, I feel like Offset was lying. And we read this article yesterday from TMZ about the alleged altercation between Offset and Quavo. So Quavo or Offset, not Quavo, Quavo or Offset comes forward and states that that was cap, that they did not get into a fight or anything like that, which Offset shuts down rumors that he and Quavo got into a physical altercation backstage at the 2023 Grammys before Quavo performed a tribute to late Migos rapper Takeoff. So, move. Offset is clearing the air on where he stands with cousin Quavo. The Bad and Bougie artist pushed back at rumors that he and his fellow Migos member got into a physical fight backstage at the 2023 Grammys. Offset's quote, "What the F look like fighting my brother?" The rapper quoted February 6th. "Y'all ninjas is crazy." Offset remarks come after TMZ reported the pair got into a physical fight and had to be pulled apart ahead of Quavo taking the stage to honor Takeoff, the late third member of Migos, during the in memoriam proportion of the Grammys. The outlet citing sources at the show noted the cause of the fight was allegedly due to Quavo refusing to let Offset be a part of the tribute, even though Recording Academy had asked him to join. Quavo was accompanied instead by the Maverick Music Mogul Gospel Choir. The group sang a rendition of his song Without Me. Okay. So again, he stated that it didn't happen. That's not true. And then we get full-fledged confirmation that it does happen, because E! News on ETV, they have exclusive audio footage of not only Cardi basically telling them to break it up, to break up, this situation. She was also stating how both of them were wrong. Not one, but both. Like, both of y'all are wrong. This should have never happened. And then I feel like it was a female or somebody standing there. And Cardi called them out their name, or male. It could have been male. And called them out their name and said that they could have been did something. Like, you seen that it was, the tempers were flaring. Like, you could have, because Cardi was in this really expensive dress, and all of this stuff. Is she about to go present an award? Why would she be back there trying to break up a scuffle, as a woman between two men? So, yeah, I feel like Cardi was a shout out to Jaguar Ride. I seen that she was in the chat earlier before I came in. Hi, girl. Hey, Jaguar girl. Yeah, I think that it's unfortunate, like I said yesterday, that the men haven't been able to work this out, Quavo and Offset, but it definitely did happen. So let's get into what E! News uncovered. While Takeoff's life and legacy was remembered on stage at the 2023 Grammy Awards, things were definitely heated backstage, with Cardi B getting upset amid reports that Quavo prevented Offset from joining him during in the memoriam segment. According to TMZ, the two Migos rappers got into a physical altercation moments before Quavo was supposed to take the stage to perform Without You with the Maverick City Music. He and Offset got into a physical fight and had to be pulled apart. The outlet reports explaining that the Grammys had asked Offset to be a part of the tribute, but Quavo refused to let him take part. Sources for Offset, however, claim that Quavo started things. Amid all of this, Cardi B was captured on an iPhone footage obtained by ET that showed her yelling backstage. "Both of y'all wrong. This is not right," she's heard saying. No, B word. Shut the F up, because you shouldn't have been talking. However, it's not clear who she is yelling at or what exactly had set her off that moment. Later, while speaking to ET, Cardi showed how happy she was Cardi B shared how happy she was to be able to present the award for Best Rap Album to Kendrick Lamar. The moment took place on stage just ahead of the in memoriam segment, which included tributes to Loretta Lynn and Christy McVie before Quavo honored Takeoff. I was so nervous, but I was so happy for him because he is such an amazing. He has had such an amazing album. So let's get into the actual yelling of Cardi B.
Cameras caught this blow up from presenter Cardi B. So what went down? It appears tensions boiled over between the remaining members of Migos, Cardi's husband Offset and his cousin Quavo.
I heard you back here settling some stuff.
The only thing I said was my outfit, honey.
Backstage, ET's cameras caught this blow up from presenter Cardi B. So what went down? It appears tensions boiled over between the remaining members of Migos, Cardi's husband Offset and his cousin Quavo.
I heard you back here settling some stuff.
The only thing I said was my outfit, honey.
Backstage, ET's cameras caught this blow up from presenter Cardi B. So what went down? between the remaining members of Migos, Cardi's husband Offset and his cousin Quavo.
I heard you back here settling some stuff.
The only thing I said was my outfit, honey.
Backstage, ET's cameras caught this blow up from presenter Cardi B. So what went down? It appears tensions boiled over between the remaining members of Migos, Cardi's husband Offset and his cousin Quavo.
I heard you back here settling some stuff.
The only thing I said was my outfit, honey.
Backstage, ET's cameras caught this blow up.
So, as you can clearly see, there was definitely an altercation between the Migos rappers, between Offset and Quavo. That definitely happened. So, now Cardi, when because right after the altercation, pretty much Cardi comes out, walking past, and they question Cardi like, "Hey, you know what was that?" You know, Cardi was just like, "All right, I have to get nothing together but my outfit," and she did right, because again, people are going to just blow it up and make it 10 times worse than what it was. With Cardi stating that both of them were wrong, both of them were wrong. I agree. I don't, but like I said, this is a very raw, situation. Hi, Pink Unicorn, moderator. But it's a very, raw situation between what they lost a family member. Like, it wasn't just a group member. Now the energy is weird. With Quavo, I would say, especially with him still dealing with the Prince family after losing the family member, and now you got him threatening one. Like, Quavo, I don't know. You have to know something that I don't know, because I just don't get, because blood is always going to be thicker than water. So again, you just lost a big part of you, losing Takeoff. I think it will really hurt you if something happened to Offset, because you're just angry with him right now. It doesn't mean you still don't love him, and all of that, y'all family. And it's sad again how this music industry, it destroys families. It really does. It destroys people. It really does. That's why it's good to work outside of family, and to not hire your family, because we're family. But it's hard to be a family member when you are in business with that person, because there's really no switch off. There's really no switch off. When it's time to be family, you can't hit that switch, because you still talk about business, and stuff that's, circling around it and whatnot. So yeah, I just think that there's a lot of it, but to me, it just doesn't matter, so it's hard for me to sympathize with either person, when it comes to the industry, because the industry shouldn't be stronger than your family. Like, y'all literally grew up together, like family, like literal family. Y'all been through a lot. And to lose somebody that you can remember adolescent, like when you're an adolescent, like a child, you can remember them, like literally your mind can go all the way back to where you can remember this person as a child, and then to enter adulthood and be adults and be able to look at them as an op, or how you would look at somebody like a person on the street. Like, to me, that's crazy. That's crazy. I get that people separate as you grow older. You have different responsibilities. You take on different things. So I get that, but it shouldn't make it so that they're literally wanting to put hands on each other, and stuff like that. Like, what that were? So what Cardi's saying, both of y'all are wrong, that speaks a lot. That it speaks a lot, because y'all know how Cardi is over Offset. Cardi team my husband situation. So for her to even point out the fact that Offset is wrong, then I believe that Offset, I'm not going to say he overreacted. I'm going to say that whatever Quavo said to him within that moment really hit home, whatever it was. And I think it was something regarding the relationship that Takeoff had with, that Offset had with Quavo, and that Offset had with Takeoff before Takeoff passed away. I feel that it was more so of like something like you ain't even care about him anyway, you know, or something like that to really set Offset off, because Offset seems like a pretty calm person. Um, but I think it's something that dug it hit home, whatever Quavo said to him, because seems as if it was a short exchange. It doesn't seem like it was, you know, a long exchange. And I don't think Quavo saying, I don't want you to be a part of it, I don't think that that's enough to make Offset react, you know, in that way. I think Quavo said something disrespectful. I do. I think it would, and it was about Takeoff, because for Offset to react that way, because I feel that Offset put his hands on Quavo. I don't believe it was the other way around. I think Quavo said something to Offset, and Offset was like, "You got me up. Like I don't know who you think you is. Like you know, what a problem you have. I don't know what it is, but you ain't gonna be talking to me like that. Like don't get this rap game. Don't get this twisted. Don't get it twisted. If you want to do the performance by yourself, cool. But at the end of the day, nigga, you're not about to be coming at me like that. I don't know what's wrong with you, but let me show you I'm not that guy. I ain't none of these flunkies you got back here. I'm not one of them people. I am not. So I think, yeah, I think it's set Offset off, literally. It's that's set it off. Whatever Quavo said. Now, I don't feel that it's right for Offset to put his hands on Quavo, and I feel that that is why Cardi said that both of y'all are wrong, because Offset, I feel that Offset the one who got physical, and Quavo defended himself within that moment before it was quickly broken up. Is what I feel absolutely, and because what other reason would Cardi be telling Offset that he wrong? If I feel like Cardi was telling Quavo that he wrong because Quavo, you should let Offset be up there. Y'all is family. Like at the end of the day, this is your family, and all that other stuff aside, who cares? Just y'all send that boy home the right way musically, because this is for the, you know, the lovers of his music and y'all music all together. You know, send him home right. And Quavo didn't want to. Why? That's between him and Offset. I have no idea. And I believe that that made Offset react, and yeah, to whatever Quavo said. And I think it was something disrespectful about Quavo, I mean, about Takeoff's and um, Offset's relationship before he passed. I think that it was that, honestly. Honestly, I do. I think it was that. Definitely, definitely. Absolutely. I just think it was something like that. I think Quavo, he should have just, I don't know. I don't know. Somebody in chat said all this over Punani. I really don't think it's over that. I really don't. I don't think I think it has a lot to do with business and money. Again, Quavo has been suing QC of quality control and the attorney that they had will have Grander, I believe his last name, something like that. He is the co-owner of quality control, and Offset has been trying to, well, in the part, well, pretty much has done away with them and doing his own thing as a solo artist and not being a part of the Migos anymore, pretty much. And Quavo and Takeoff were still over there with quality control. So there was, you know, and they all started the lawsuit together. But once they realized that where quality control had them, how they got them so encumbered and buried, you know, those contracts is going to be really hard to get out. I think they may feel abandoned. That especially Quavo may have felt abandoned when Offset teamed up with his wife, and him and his wife made it so that he got out of the contract, you know, and whatnot, and that he could be a free agent, you know, and go and do his thing. And we're stuck over here still with this Migos name, and we can't really do nothing about it. Like we're being robbed still. They're still stealing money from us, you know, and all of that stuff. We're not getting what we're due. Our royalties that we're supposed to get, we're not fully getting, and among other things. And on top of that, they pushing us in the studio, telling us that we owe them another album, and you ain't nowhere to be found. You over there being a family with Cardi. There's plenty of reasons while this situation could have gotten deeper, like and deeper and deeper and deeper. And now losing Takeoff, the only mutual party within the group Migos, this is bad. You know, this is bad. This really is, because they have, it seems as if they have like a hatred for one another. I think Offset is more open to working things out with Quavo, but Quavo like, I don't want nothing to do with you. Like, is what it's given. Quavo is over Offset. And I do not think that Quavo likes Cardi. I don't. I do not think I don't. Y'all see he sat over there on Drink Champs and Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, he couldn't wait to say Nicki Minaj. You know, I do not think they like her. I don't think Takeoff had a problem with Cardi. I don't, but I do not think that Quavo likes Cardi B at all. I don't. Honestly, I don't think Quavo likes Cardi. I don't. And I think that Cardi kind of just is just chilling. I don't really feel like Cardi really has any like involvement. I think it's more so of like vicariously or due to affiliation. You know, more so they're a couple. So they look at a lot of decisions that Quavo's making that they're Cardi's, that Offset is making. They probably view it as that's Cardi's decisions, because when he was with us, when we was Amigos before her, he didn't rock like this. He didn't move like this and whatnot. But now that ever since he got with her, he's a completely different person. Well, he's married. He's a husband. Like, things are supposed to change. They're supposed to be different. They're supposed to make decisions together. Okay, Cardi got all type of connection and reaches and stuff that Takeoff didn't necessarily. Offset didn't necessarily have. So of course he's going to be sitting at different tables and being invited different places. Like, of course, like it was no different than when Bobby Brown was with Whitney Houston. Even when he was in New Edition, he's still going to be sitting at tables and stuff that the rest of the group members ain't going to be sitting at. He's still going to be invited places with his wife that other people aren't going to be invited to. Like, it doesn't mean that he's turning his back on the group. It was no different than Beyonce. When she got with Jay-Z, there was different tables that she was going to be sitting at, that Kelly wasn't going to be at, that Michelle wasn't going to be at. Y'all ain't his woman. I'm his woman. I'm going to the inauguration with my man. I'm singing at last at the with my man. He ain't y'all man. We ain't dating him. I am. Okay? So it's the same thing with Cardi and Offset. Migos ain't dating Cardi. Offset is. They're in a relationship. So, but the relationship is supposed to change. But I don't think that Quavo looks at it that way. I think that he is kind of ignorant to what it means to like have a family. He does not have one. He's not married with kids and stuff like that. It's different. You have to move differently when you are. You have more at stake when you build a family. Quavo has not done that. He hasn't done any of those things. So I really don't feel like now that would be the only way I say a woman would be involved, like Cardi, but somebody Offset allegedly smashing. Don't nobody go about that. Sweetie is somewhere another 19 niggas in since Quavo, and ain't nobody worried about ain't nobody worried about that. Ain't nobody worried about it. Like, no one cares. Like, literally no one cares. So I don't feel like any of them care either. Quavo has completely moved on, and so has Sweetie. I really don't feel like. So even if it was something like that, I just don't feel like it's this deep. I mean, the family member has passed away. You know, all of that. There's a way more going on than for them to be worried about some female. Like, Takeoff passed away for no reason. He was an innocent bystander that day. Nothing should have happened to him. Nothing. Because I do believe that the initial hit was for Quavo and Takeoff. It was not. Takeoff was not supposed to pass away alone. He was not. So with me calling him an innocent bystander, I mean, he did nothing to invoke what happened to him, to provoke what happened to him. He did nothing. He was just an innocent bystander. That's why it was definitely a setup. That was done deliberately. And it was not just supposed to be Takeoff. Quavo was supposed to go too. And I believe he was the initial target. It was more important to get him than it was Takeoff. Honestly. I don't know if the power got confused because of the dread. I don't know. But they dispersed too quickly. I don't know. But I believe it was for both of them. Both of them. I don't believe it was just supposed to be Takeoff. I don't. I don't. I believe that was supposed to be a lot of people getting injured, you know, and whatnot. But we have two main targets. So, because it will look too suspicious to just end those two. So the bystanders that got injured and hurt as well, which one of them is still on like life support, basically, like got probably really bad brain damage. So prayers and positive energy being sent her way and to her family's way. But yeah, I believe that multiple people were supposed to get injured, not slain, but injured in the process of getting rid of these two. Literally. That's just how I feel. I don't feel that Quavo was supposed to make it. He was not. I don't. And it's no different as well with Jay Prince's son, Jay Prince Jr., whichever one that was, running away. Well, not running, walking away quickly to go and clean the blood off of his hands. How were you even close enough for that to happen anyway? I was like, oh my word, you just walk off? Ain't none of y'all say who did it? So if you were close enough to get his blood on you, that means you were close enough to see exactly what happened and who did it. Okay? So with you not pointing out anybody, pinpointing anyone, you, your dad, or any of your brothers, since y'all not pinpointing anyone, because you know Jay Prince act like he know every soul in Texas. He got everybody IDs in his drawer and birth certificates and social security cards. He know every soul in Texas. Even if you travel, even if you stop to get gas, he know who you is. Okay? Since he run Texas, then you should know exactly who did it. Since you care so much about Takeoff, you should want him to get justice. You said that your son tells you the reason he walked off that quickly is because he went to go wash the blood. Not to go call 911, not to go get help, not to go do nothing. He went to go wash his hands. And then he just so happened to come to where you were after that, not the police station, not to the hospital to check on Takeoff, not none of that. And we're supposed to believe that y'all didn't have nothing to do with that. You sure? I mean, again, you do run Texas. It's not a coincidence that your whole family was there when it happened. I just think that's a little weird. I just think that that's a lot of weird. And I also think that that's why Quavo and Offset, I think that adds to their beef, because Offset, again, allegedly in the streets, the reason why Jay Prince said what he said to Offset is because Offset feels that Jay Prince's family had something to do with Takeoff's passing. So that's why when he goes live, basically trying to exclude himself by also making it seem as if Offset, you didn't even deal with Takeoff. Like y'all didn't even have a relationship, you know, when he passed away and whatnot. So basically, what do you care anyway? You know, is what is given. And then it just so happened that Quavo is at the Grammys telling Offset, you not performing with me. Basically giving you didn't even care about him anyway type of energy, just like Jay Prince. It's the same thing. And Quavo is still dealing again with the Prince family. So I don't know if they warped his mind. I have no idea. I have no idea what that were. I have no idea what that were. Go and get your new car, girl. There go your update, because I got people to, where's the update? I'm not Jaguar publicist or her lawyer. I'm like, yeah, if you want to update, I'm gonna need you to go hit up my girl, like her girl. I'm gonna need to. There go y'all update. She said, gotta go pick up a new car. See y'all soon. Y'all tried it. There go your update. Shout out to my girl Jaguar. Right. So, but yeah, I think that there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I told you I'm gonna make a surviving. I should do a surviving on it, because there's a lot going on behind the scenes with the Prince family and the Migos. And again, it is not a coincidence, okay, that Takeoff passed where he passed. That's not a coincidence. It's not. The only thing that doesn't add up is why Quavo got to walk away. Mhm. Absolutely. So I feel like it was a last minute decision. I do. I do. So the only reason I would say, let me tell you like this. So multiple people got injured, okay, within the crossfire. I believe both of the people that were pow-powing were together. I believe that they were together, okay, intentionally missing each other on purpose. The point was for both people on both sides, okay, because they needed multiple people injured to make this look like it was just a chaotic accident, type of situation. Their point wasn't to pop out each other because again, when you see them pop out, they're not even aiming near each other. It's like y'all aiming everywhere but at each other. Like what? This is weird. This is absolutely weird. Like and neither person that was pop howling got hit. Neither one. So the two people that are neither one of them hit each other. But so many other people got hit in the process. One of those people being Takeoff. I believe it was a last minute decision by allegedly a family in Houston that nothing happens to Quavo. Don't hurt Quavo. Don't do that. Okay? The motive. The motive is that these companies have huge policies on these artists. Huge insurance policies. Okay? Not only that, you got a new album coming out, all of that. There's people that are going to benefit from this. Quality Control is linked with Rap-A-Lot Records, and Rap-A-Lot Records is Jay Prince's company. Okay. And Quality Control is owned by, QC and whatnot. Okay. Now, they're not like literally partnered, but they are in business together, with other things, with these alleged mob ties. So they are affiliated with other things. So them being in Texas, and again, all of this energy with QC from Quality Control and Takeoff and Quavo and Offset, they have really bad dealings together. So pretty much at this moment in time, with Quality Control, I don't care what anybody over there says. Sue me for telling the truth. That's fine. Takeoff meant more to them gone than alive. And it's the same thing with Quavo. It's the same thing. So the whole checking in thing, Quavo checked in that day. Okay. Takeoff was just there. He was just hanging out with us. What they do, they hang out. Quavo's checking in. So if Quavo is checking in, that's when I said a last minute decision to do nothing to Quavo is what it's giving. Because Quavo walks away fine and Takeoff passes away. An innocent bystander. Someone that never seen it coming. That would have never saw that coming. Okay. Now Offset is not doing any checking in with anybody. That he not did this check-in that they have to do. Offset's not doing that. So with that being said, that registers again more beef to where all of them are worth more gone than alive. So with Takeoff passing away, Quality Control got all type of money for it. Millions to close millions for sure. With Takeoff passing away, with the insurance policy, owning the masters to Amigos, and them literally just dropping an album. The album sales, of course, went up because Takeoff passed away. I just feel like it's all connected. I feel like it absolutely is. And it's not a coincidence that Offset is beefing with the Prince family. That's not a coincidence. And Quavo isn't. Why not? Why? This is your family. They're threatening your family. They're literally threatening Offset. And that's okay. Like, it shouldn't be. Didn't you just lose a family member? Wasn't that horrible? Horrid? Why would you want to go through that all over again? Why would you want to go through that all over again? Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, this was a plan. It absolutely was. This was not an accident. And Quavo was supposed to go too. Quavo was supposed to go too. It was not just supposed to be. And then they send warnings. So again, this is your warning. Takeoff is gone. You'll be next. You'll be next. And then Jay Prince just literally said it the other day about Takeoff. Offset. That this won't be conducive. So I would take that threat very serious. It's like Takeoff is already gone. Takeoff, he's gone. So these people ain't playing. It ain't like all three of these men are still alive and there's threats being thrown around. No. Takeoff is gone. Somebody took his life. Where they were, like in his domain, the Prince family domain, is where Takeoff lost his life. And there's no remorse, you know, or anything like that. That's why I'm like, this feels planned. Like it absolutely does. That's why they made sure it had somewhere public so everybody will find out immediately. All of that. That's why it happened that way, is what I believe. And I think Quavo is too far in. I think Quavo is way too far. He is. So, again, and I don't think that he likes the fact that Offset kind of like abandoned him. You know, that is what he feels like. You know, like you just got this chick, married her, and just left us to the wolves. You know, left us in the lion's den. You know, with no protection. You know, and now we're all being screwed over still. So, I think the J Prince threat is serious, and I think Offset should take that very serious. Like that ain't nothing to play with. Him sitting there saying stuff like that, and I think that that's why Offset was so angry. Because he knows what that were. Offset ain't stupid. He know what that were. Like, oh, that's where we at. That's where we at. And again, it's not a coincidence that J Prince says that Takeoff and Offset really didn't have a relationship when Takeoff passed away. And then the Grammys, you know, see if Offset wants to perform with Quavo, and Offset says no. I mean, Quavo says no. To Offset, don't. Offset said yeah. Quavo is the one who said no, absolutely not. Same energy, the same energy that J Prince has. So again, weird. But let me pull that up. J Prince's threat to Offset. Let me pull that up. What that were? Let me pull that up. I'm just like, yeah, Offset. Don't sit around idly and just take that. Like, respond, react. I mean, react. Let him know that this is not a game.
But this Offset dude, I ain't gonna leave him out. You know, I'm just real like this, you know, because, you know, niggas be throwing rocks and hiding their hand, right? They be throwing rocks and hiding their hand. And I don't like them kind of individuals, you know, and the truth of the matter is, you know, one can dance and different things in front of these different cameras and all that kind of shit. And when reality, the truth of the matter is, you know, nigga, you wasn't really right there with Takeoff when he was alive. You know what I mean? So for you to be taking these positions that you taking, you know what I mean? And I got people everywhere, so I hear all kinds of things. I'm gonna just say this to you. Don't never put me in no position where, you know, I have to defend myself. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be healthy for you. And, you know, I have to say that. But it's $1 million worth of game. You know what I mean? It's $1 million worth of game, and I'm going to give it to him right on $1 million worth of game, because I ain't going to throw rocks and hide my hand. I'm going to just let it be known, you know, to him, because I hear what's being said. And it's all love after that. Peace. But this Offset dude.
Hey, first off, y'all niggas speaking on my real brother. I don't know what y'all niggas got, what the fuck y'all niggas got going on. Y'all niggas speaking on my real brother. How dare one of y'all niggas even speak on me and Tate relationship, nigga? I don't know you niggas from a can of paint, nigga. Y'all niggas don't know how me and my brother rock, nigga. You trying to clear your face, nigga. This your 5th interview, nigga. You done did about my brother, nigga. You ain't think about his mama. You ain't think about the family, nigga. We ain't said nothing. Ain't nobody said nothing but you niggas. You niggas, man, who y'all niggas think y'all nigga is? John got it, nigga. Ain't nobody going for none of that, bro. I ain't studying none of that shit y'all nigga talking about either. And if you heard something from me, I'ma tell you it's gonna come from me. Call my phone. Y'all nigga going off of he say, she say. Then y'all nigga supposed to be this is who y'all supposed to be. And y'all nigga on interviews and it out on an interview talking about I said, "Then nigga, call my phone, homie. You call my phone, we'll have a conversation." Then what I'm talking about, all that internet games. Hey, first off, y'all niggas speaking on my real brother. I don't know what y'all niggas got, what the fuck y'all niggas got going on. Y'all niggas speaking on my real brother. How dare one of y'all niggas even speak on me and Tate relationship, nigga? I don't know you niggas from a can of paint, nigga. Y'all niggas don't know how me and my brother rock, nigga. You trying to clear your face, nigga. This your 5th interview, nigga. You done did about my brother, nigga. You ain't think about his mama. You ain't think about the family, nigga. We ain't said nothing. Ain't nobody said nothing but you niggas. You niggas, man, who y'all nigga think y'all nigga is? John got it, nigga. Ain't nobody going for none of that, bro. I ain't studying none of that shit y'all nigga talking about either. And if you heard something from me, I'ma tell you it's gonna come from me. Call my phone. Y'all nigga going off of he say, she say. Then y'all nigga supposed to be this is who y'all supposed to be. And y'all nigga on interviews and it out on an interview.
So yeah, you can tell that Offset is still hurting, you know, from what I mean, why wouldn't he be? So, but yeah, that's crazy to even speak on. And I think Offset is tired of people doing that. You know, it's just like, just first of all, what we live in our life, we grown out here. We don't live together. We ain't hip and hip, you know, and all of that. Again, is Takeoff was not married with a family, and neither is Quavo. So why is y'all even comparing that to that anyway? Like Offset has children, and not just with Cardi. He has children. He's a father. He has a life. Like it ain't just so as simple as just riding around smoking and drinking all damn day, like what you do, Quavo. Like why would y'all even compare that? And then Jay Prince, again, you don't know them, you know of them. So what you trying to make it seem like you know that relationship and all of that? Offset got every right to cuss you out, because who the are you to tell me about my family? Like that was my brother. That's what we're not about to do. Like don't speak on me, bruh. John Gotti. Yeah, don't speak on me. We ain't even talking about it. We ain't even doing interviews about it. We ain't going live about it. But this like your 5th interview talking about my brother? Like, nigga, if you gonna sit your ass down somewhere, no, who you talking to? Okay, whatever you gonna do it. Well, I can't stop you no way. But what you're gonna stop doing is coming from me and my relationship with my family. I ain't sitting up here talking about your big head ass boys. Them lemon heads walking around with glasses, all with the same damn name. J Prince 1, 2, and 3. Like, ain't nobody talking about you and your family. Ain't nobody talking about you and your. But you coming for me and mine. No, you gonna leave my family out your mouth. Worry about yours. And why my family passed away at basically one of your hot spots in your state, in your city. While your son's walking out the room, going to wash blood off their hands instead of getting him help. And then leaving right after that. Worry about that. But instead, you want to speak on everything. But no, don't deflect. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Waffle come, the same person you saying I wasn't close to, died where you at. You want to do interview about that. Talk about that. If you got so much power, if you so this, if you so that, then he shouldn't have been touched. It shouldn't have been a finger, a hair, anything removed from him underneath your care, right? But you want me to come check in. For what? Yeah, I don't feel safe. No. You are no security. The only people you keeping alive is your boys. And keep an eye on them. You tried it. Like, you're clearly no protection. Where my brother at? But we supposed to come to you for. You don't do a good job at that. At all. At all. No. I keep the life that I got. Because if I put it in your hands, gone. Gone. If I leave it up to you, gone is what I will be. Because that's what my brother at, right? Because you did such a good job protecting him. You did such a good job with us checking in, dropping racks and ish off to you to keep us safe. Literally, I'm on my way getting done, dropping you off this blessing for protection, and we get popped at around your people, your city. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. I'm just saying. I just find that mighty crazy. You know, the Prince family is supposed to be, you know, the protectors and this and that. That ain't what y'all giving. That ain't what y'all giving, because what did Takeoff do? What did Takeoff do? Clearly, Jay Prince, you don't have control of your people, because you was the first person to come live like you a mayor or a governor or any goddamn thing with a public service announcement like we asked you for one. We didn't. We're gonna get one of them. That's from the family. You are not that. So his name wasn't Takeoff Prince. You tried. That ain't what that were. That ain't what that were. That ain't what that were. Your son didn't just pass away. We don't care to hear what you have to say, sir. It take you too long to say it in the first damn place. So yeah, no one was requesting your you. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Like, yeah, we don't care to hear you come forward to let us know how you dropped the ball in your city. How you don't have control in your city, because you swear you Nino. You swear you Nino. You swear you giving Nino. So but Nino Brown, didn't nobody get dropped unless he told them to. Yeah. They were afraid to make a move without Nino. It seems like your people are going what, they freelancing now? What's going on in your camp? What's going on with that word? Because both powers, you know, both of them, they on your team. So home mayor are not claiming his innocence, that he didn't do it. That's what that were. Why is he saying he innocent? Ew. Why folk come? I'm like, what's going on with that now? Are we independent? Are your people independent contractors now, or like what that were? You ain't protecting nobody. Like, oh, I'm like, what is he talking about? Like, shut up. You're supposed to be protecting these rappers, right? You're supposed to be protecting these rappers. If I was Drake or anybody else, I wouldn't feel comfortable being around you at all. At all. Because being with the Prince family, people ain't supposed to look at you twice. They're supposed to be scared to even say something, let alone do something. Because y'all are so feared. Okay, girl. Okay. It's not giving that. It's giving you either lose control of your camp, or this was deliberate. You meaning with you. You deliberately had direct contact and knew what was going to happen. It's what it's giving. Because people are coming to check in with you. So again, where's Takeoff? What happened to Takeoff? Because you still haven't explained it and said you want to come forward. We ain't had nothing to do with this, but you best believe as soon as we shut up, because this is your city, and they know if we knew who you know everything. Remember, this your damn city. So if you don't know, you better find out. Don't even talk until you know, since you running things. Like, go have a seat. If I was a rapper, I wouldn't feel comfortable being in Texas at all. Especially being affiliated with the Prince family. I wouldn't want to be there at all. Because it's giving y'all are bad people. Like, it's not giving that y'all are good people. No. That raid back in the day with y'all and Irv Gotti and all of that's making a lot of... It's starting to make a lot of sense. It's starting to make a lot of sense why government vehicles are pulling you over in random places. So it's starting to make a lot of sense. I'm like, yeah, this is adding up. The math is mathing, honey. The math is mathing. Yeah, it's giving the Prince family is dirty. It's like y'all are dirty people. Y'all absolutely are. Yeah. And y'all give rappers especially they're like lambs to a slaughter when it comes to y'all. Whatever gonna benefit y'all the most and the fastest. It's like y'all with it. It's how the filthy rich stay filthy rich. So yeah, I feel that all of you. It's a problem. It's a problem. Shout out to Cats Meow. She says, Cats Meow. These comments be jumping. If Beyonce's from Houston too, it's Beyonce from Houston too. She is. I wonder, does she know who these people are? No. Beyonce, she has no dealings with the. I don't know if you're talking about like the Pop Powers. I'm pretty sure she don't know who they are. But when it comes to the Prince family, I think Beyonce, she has to know of the Prince family because Jay-Z wants no dealings. They've had their run-ins before too, Jay-Z and Jay Prince. They absolutely have. And Jay-Z wants no parts. It's also alleged that back in the day when Jay Prince, Irv Gotti, and a few other people got together to make their own Dame Dash and others came forward to make their own first Black distribution company, that Jay-Z is the one who snitched on them about behind the scenes putting this distribution company together, because they were doing it in private because they knew that they would not allow this to go down publicly. So it was more so of a let's do this behind the scenes and then go public with it. But before they were able to go public with it, they were already found out. So a lot of people that were going to partner with them and help them in the distribution started to pull out because of phone calls being made. Like, nope, you better not do this. You better not work with it. You know. So their plan just crumbled. And then all of a sudden the FBI was investigating them all, raiding all of the businesses and, and stuff like that. So it is rumored that Jay-Z is the reason all of that happened. So yes, Beyonce definitely knows who the Prince family is, and she wants nothing to do with them. You don't see Beyonce in no pictures with the Prince family. None of that. The closest the Prince family done got to. Yeah, shout out to Houston. Absolutely not blaming Houston. I said if I was a rapper affiliated with Jay Prince, I wouldn't want anything to do with Texas, just because of, again, if he's supposed to be protecting people and this and that. Okay, what happened to Takeoff? What, somebody that didn't do nothing to nobody. Like, he was too innocent. So it's different when you have a rapper that has a lot of turmoil, with other people. And like, Tupac was a very tumultuous rapper. Like, he had a lot of turmoil around him, and stuff like that for all the stuff that he had going on. No different than with Biggie. He had a lot going on around him. So no matter where they go, they're going to be hated. It's going to be some static because of how controversial these people are. Pac was all thug life, give respect, or I'm disrespecting you immediately, type of person. He took shots at many rappers in his lyrics, and stuff like that. But with somebody like Takeoff, just a peaceful guy, very laid back, intuitive soul. If somebody as innocent as him can be taken out, and I'm supposed to be under this protection of the Prince family in that state, I'm not going to Texas. That's why I said it ain't Houston. It's the state of Texas at all. At all. Like, I ain't going there. I ain't performing at nothing. Just because of the affiliation with the Prince family, because they are targeted. As much as the Prince family wants to make it seem like Texas likes them, Texas fucking hates the Prince family. Let's just keep it real. The Prince family gives them a bad name. The Prince family gives them a bad name. Like, it absolutely do. I just feel like Texas, I just feel like they don't like them. I don't. I feel like Texas want them to move. Actually. Honestly, when Jay Prince passes away, whenever, long time from now, whenever, and whatnot, because we all come to go, I think that more people in Texas will rejoice than be saddened. Honestly, I feel like he gives them a bad name. I do. I don't think people in Texas like him very much. I don't. I think that they can't stand that family. I do. That's what it gives. A lot of people in Texas gives. They don't want nothing to do with the Prince family. It's like, move all goddamn ready. Move to Arizona. Or something like that. It's like, get away from here. Because I think that Texans are sick of the Prince family, especially Black people. I think black people in Texas is sick of them. I do. I think they can't stand them, honestly. And most of them probably just fear saying anything like directly to them because of what, the consequences that could come with that. But it's no different than like when Nino Brown. When Nino Brown got arrested in New Jack City, before he went, wasn't nobody going around like, oh, I hope you get arrested. I hope they do this. I hope they do that. No, they weren't going around acting like that. But when they took Nino out of there and he ended up passing away, when not being pop out, the community rejoiced. They were happy. But that's not what the energy that they gave when they would see Nino. While Nino was free and whatnot, there was more so of fear, and stuff like that prevented them from saying anything because they knew what could happen to them. So, but they were ecstatic when he got arrested and when he passed away. They was even still happy then. So that's why I said how Jay Prince moving, you're not being looked at as a king. You are not. Like, people don't look at you that way. They look at you more so of like a dictator, or somebody that has money and reach that they don't. So that's how people look at you. It's not a good fear. It's just a go away. Like, they would rather do without. Is how I feel. So yeah, I just think people sick of him. Honestly, I think people in Texas despise, because it gives Texas like not the best name. And a lot of the things that happen, like what happened to Takeoff, that should not have happened. And again, where he passes away, of course, people are going to blame it. It's like, what does that bowling alley have to do with what happened to Takeoff? Nothing. What does the city of Houston have to do with it? Nothing. What does the state of Texas have to do with it? Nothing. Who did Takeoff and Quavo come to see? The Prince family. Who drove them to the event? The Prince family. So if the Prince family did not request them, Takeoff would still be alive. So at the end of the day, why blame Texas? Why blame, I'm going to blame the people the Prince family. That's who I'm going to blame. I mean, ain't that why he came down? Ain't that what that were? They came to see you, right? Oh, okay. And this happened on your watch, right? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, good. This was you. The Prince family is the reason Takeoff isn't here. What other reason do we have? They came to Texas and went directly to the Prince family. Even so much to where when they went to part ways, which when they went to depart is when it happened. So with them departing at that time, where the Prince family was, where they were invited to, if they didn't go and see the Prince family, Takeoff would still be alive. I mean, it's facts. I mean, honestly, I mean, what other reason? Honestly, I don't see any other reason. They didn't come down there to perform there or nothing like that. No, they came to check in, and after they checked in, Takeoff lost his life in the same facility of the people who couldn't wait to come forward and say something, because people knew with that energy that was happening there, y'all responsible for this. This is not a coincidence. It is not. This was deliberate. And I think at the beginning, Quavo was supposed to pass away too. But with Quavo coming to check in, honestly, I don't know if there was already a problem, and that's the reason Quavo was coming to check in, but it was something. Quavo know more than what he's saying, and I believe that that's why he was so hurt, because I believe he was told something that he didn't trust. I believe Quavo was told something that he didn't necessarily trust. And I think with Takeoff being slain, I think that scared him. So I feel like a bigger part of Quavo still being involved with the Prince family is out of fear, not out of, I'm really rocking with y'all like that. I think it's more so if he done signed something himself up from something he can't get out of, is what it's giving. And I believe he takes, even with his post and stuff after, it's giving this is my fault. Like how his guilt, it is this is because of me. If you go look at Quavo's post after Takeoff passed away, he was blaming himself. He definitely was. Why? Offset wasn't blaming himself. You were there. Mhm. Takeoff was the baby of the three. So, if anything, Quavo, you should have protected Takeoff. You should have made sure that he was okay. You should have done that. And again, with Takeoff being popped that day, God rest his soul. With Takeoff being popped that day, with Quavo running over there, holding on to him, and literally like, get up, get up, get up. Why didn't the Pop Powers pow him? Because it's not like Quavo ran out of the building and realized once he got outside that Takeoff wasn't. No, he noticed immediately. Immediately when they took off running that. Because Takeoff was honestly one of the first people hit. So it was definitely deliberate. So yeah, you noticed immediately. Why didn't you accidentally get hit or pop during? Because it wasn't an accident. It was deliberate. That was on purpose. And you knew that. And that's why I believe that you were leaving, because you knew something was up. You knew something was up. You did. You knew something was up. And I feel to save you, took him. Honestly. And I feel like that's why you're blaming yourself. That's why you were so heartbroken. Because you knew this is because of me. The moves that you were trying to make, the people you're affiliating yourselves with, more so of you, Quavo, and kind of attaching Takeoff to these things too. Unbeknownst to him, I believe Quavo was making decisions that Takeoff had no idea about. I feel that Quavo was shaking hands with people that Takeoff wasn't too sure about, is what I feel, honestly. And he, in the crossfire, he ended up getting hurt. He absolutely did, and it took his life. But it was deliberate. And Quavo knows that. He knows that that was no accident. Quavo was there. Quavo knows exactly who powed Takeoff. He knows. So if Quavo is not necessarily, I'm not going to say not cooperating with the police, he has not named anyone. He has not came in as a witness to state what has happened to his beloved brother, who he cares so much about to where he wouldn't even let Offset perform. But how do you care about him if you want to make sure the person that took his life is gone? There is no street justice with this. It's too big. It's too big. So as of now, the only suspect that they have is stating that he is innocent. Don't you want to do something about that? Takeoff is gone. So you don't want to do anything about that, Quavo? Don't you care about him so much? Don't you love him so much? Nobody loved him more than you, right? Nor the same amount. I mean, you wouldn't even let Offset get on stage. So what's up? How deep are you with these people? I think it's very deep. So deep to where he can't even speak. Because I'm not going to say that Quavo does not care about Takeoff. He absolutely does. No different than Offset. They love each other. All of them. They all love each other. It's just this business that has gotten in between this family. And they're in deep, not Offset. Offset is more so secure on his own with his wife. But when it comes to Quavo, I feel like Quavo's lost. I feel like Quavo is a lost soul. He is lost. And I think that's why he rebels against everything and everyone, because he's hurting. I think he's hurt really bad. And because I do believe he blames himself. I do. I think Quavo knows and feels that that was his fault. So the homage that he is paying Takeoff, it has to be big. You know, he has to do everything in his power to let Takeoff know like how much he loved him because of what happened. If that's the person that I love like no other, I'm the reason this person is no longer here. I'm the reason, not the literal reason, but part of it. And I think that it's hard. I do. And I think that it would take Offset. I think that it hurts him really badly that he wasn't there, that he wasn't around. Not that that would have made a difference. I don't think that would have made a difference. I think instead of one body, we would have had two, because look at the energy with Jay Prince and Offset. Now imagine if Offset was there that day and something happened to him as well. And then hearing this energy that Jay Prince has. Back then, Jay Prince would have pushed it. We don't have anything to do with it. We don't know what you're talking about. Da, 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 da. But then you come forward and say this. So why would I not feel that you had something to do with Takeoff? Something ain't right. Something ain't right. It's not right. Absolutely. This ain't good. This ain't what that were. And I think that it's starting to boil over. And I think Cardi's probably nervous, like she, the father of her children, her husband. I'm sure that probably makes her nervous. It's just like not people supposed to be at your head, and that might, it would like, what if we out and about with the churn? We picking up the culture, from school, and people like, what, I know Cardi and them ain't scared. I don't feel that Offset or Cardi is afraid. I just think that it's a different type of threat from somebody like that. Just a random person coming to your DM or a hater saying something to you. I feel like that's something that's easy to just brush off. But with somebody as big as Jay Prince, I would take that serious. That is not a joke. That is not cool. You don't need to warn me of anything. With, again, Takeoff already being gone. So it's a different type of threat when people are already dead. And it's not like Takeoff passed away due to natural causes. No, he was murdered. So that's not cool. I just don't think that that's cool at all. That's why I was surprised that Jay Prince would even talk like that so publicly. I'm just like, whoa. It's just like how the Illuminati, or the illuminate all of these devil performances and fire. It's like we're all up in front of you, now. Them dressing like blood on the red carpet and devils and all of that stuff. It's like it's all in your grill. You can't, even if you wanted to ignore it, it's like you can't. It's right there. So I think it's the same thing now with the violence and whatnot. It's just like that is not okay to have said. And I think that the interviewer did himself an injustice by posting that, because I would have edited that out just for the sake of, and I would have, let Offset know, and Cardi, like, hey, I had Jay Prince on my show and he said ... I don't think that that's very cool. Y'all got a family and all of that stuff. Nobody deserves to be threatened or warned of any, thing bad happening to them or any harm coming to them. But I would not have played it. Now I get it. It's going to make you viral. It's going to make people pay attention to you, and all of that. I get that. I get the clout from it. But it to me, it's just not a good look. I would have deleted it. I would have edited that part of the interview out. I would not have left that in there. That's not cool. That is not cool at all. So yeah. So like I said, the interviewer too, like it's just like, why would you even let that rock? Why are you letting people? Even when I have people on here, when I've interviewed them, they sit and saying certain stuff. I'm like, oh, hold on, you don't mean that, because it's just like, yeah, don't do that, because we're not allowed to do that. We're not allowed to threaten people, nothing like that. We're not allowed to do those things. So yeah, I don't like it. But Quavo is a lost soul. And Quavo, you got a lot going on. Quavo. I pray for both men. I hope that they can work it out. They got. Don't get me wrong. They have a you know. But I'm just saying, out of the three of them growing up together, you know, they're all they have left. You know, the the glue is gone. You know, the glue was Takeoff. He was neutral. He still talked to both men. Now with them not having that glue anymore, because I don't care what nobody say. Quavo hates Cardi. He hates her. Quavo do not like Cardi. No, he do not. No, he do not. I think that they keep it a little. I think Cardi just minds her business, honestly, and I think that Quavo kind of does the same thing, but I don't think that they like speak to one another. I don't think that they have their own like little cute relationship. I think they used to. I think they used to. When you know she first came around and whatnot, around the motorsport times and stuff like that. I think they did. I think that I do. I think that they were cool. And then I think things changed. I think things changed. Um, yeah, I think the Migos, they will party together. You know, just they would do everything together, and then you know Cardi comes along and she kind of takes Offset. You know, and then they kind of view it as her still. It's like no, this is what happens. Like people get in serious relationships and they get married and they have kids and you know all of that stuff. It's not that I don't feel like she's trying to control everything, but that's how a lot of men, that's how we feel. We feel like if we kicking it with our boys and you know we have our men time, man cave, you know, all the you know romances, you know, and whatnot, and then a female comes into the mix and things change, we feel like she is the enemy. She's trying to change him. She trying to make him this. She trying to make him that. He didn't even dress this way when before then. He didn't talk that way. And we used to do this and we used to do that. You know, so they view the wife as the enemy. And I think that that is how Quavo is with Cardi. I do. I think that he views Cardi as the enemy because a lot of things that Offset was interested in and that Offset would do, because that the lifestyle is very addictive. It is the cars, the money, the girls. Especially, I think that's why at the beginning of Cardi and Offset's relationship, there was a lot of cheating because Offset was living that rock star lifestyle. You know, every night a different girl, and you know, sometimes more than one girl, and you know, all of that. It's addictive. So it's not just something that these men can just roll out of. Like it's like no, it takes time to change. To change takes time. So yeah, I think that that's what they were doing. And I also feel like Quavo would even encourage, you know, Offset to party and, you know, hey, I got some bitches upstairs, you know, come up there, you know, let's knock all these hoes out, you know, do our thing. You know, I feel like he would encourage it. I don't feel like Quavo would be like, oh, well, you know, you married now, you know, I'll see you tomorrow. You know, I say, we about to go party. We got this, like, you coming, you know, type of situation. And I believe at the beginning that Offset was for it, you know, and then as time went on and you know he started to listen to his wife more and probably his family members like his mom and stuff and Cardi's family as well. It's just like, you know, you're a good man, you're a good father, you know, you just need to do ... you know. And I feel like Offset kind of to start to hone in, you know, on some of those things because it takes time to change. It's not something you could just do overnight. Again, Offset didn't have his father in his life, so you can't expect a fatherless man to just know how to be a man. No, he had no example. So he gonna be wild. The streets has raised him. Besides, because a mother can only do so much. A mother cannot raise a man. She cannot. Now she can raise a boy that is going to turn into a man, but a lot of decisions that he's making, he has had no example. You know, so he's gonna wing it or see what he does on TV, or do what he sees on TV, or what people on the street are doing, or friends, or stuff. He's gonna do all that. You know, he's not going to do what a man would do. So to go out here and protect and provide, and he ain't seen none of that. So why is people expecting it? Like that's why a mother can only do so much. It's no different than a father. A father cannot raise a woman. He can raise a girl that turns into a woman, but he cannot literally raise one. A mother is needed. Like if you want her to take an example from a woman, you got to put one in front of her. So if a woman has not had that example in front of her, why are you expecting a Stepford wife? Why are you expecting that? Like that's not her upbringing. Like she don't know that life. You know, men raised her. You know, like with Left Eye from TLC, she was more so like very boyish, you know, just because there was a lot of men around her. She didn't have really like an example of a woman to show her how to be said thing. You know, she was more so like her father, you know, like more manly than, you know. So yeah, so it's the same thing. So it takes time for these men to learn. It's just, I'm just glad that he's trying, you know, that he wants to be a good man, that he wants to be a good husband, that he wants to be a good father. You know, he wants to do those things, and that's great because not everybody, you know, is like that. They don't operate that way. So again, I don't think that Quavo took that into mind. For a little piece of time, yes, I believe Quavo and Nicki, they did. I'm not gonna say they dated. I think it was more so of a, because you know he did Huncho Dreams about Nicki after Nicki did Barbie Dreams. So there was, you know, he was buying her, you know, designer bags and clothes and all of that stuff. He definitely was. I remember when she used to post after he sent her things. And he also said in Huncho Dreams that he did certain things for her. So yeah, I believe they dated for a cute hot second, like a week. Like a week. And Nicki was like, mm-mm. So yeah, but yeah, they for a little hot second. But yeah, I think that Quavo, yeah, looks at Cardi as the enemy. I don't think he likes her. I don't. I think at one point they did, and then after that, mm-mm. Even when they did Drink Champs, they made sure that they didn't talk about Cardi. They made sure they wasn't sitting there like, oh, you know, shout out to Cardi. She could go watch Drink Champs again. If Cardi was not brought up, which was pretty much one question, was Cardi over Nicki. Um, they don't talk about Cardi. Neither did Takeoff. Takeoff didn't talk about Cardi either. Now I'm not gonna say Takeoff has a problem with Cardi because I don't think he did. I think Takeoff and Cardi were fine. But Quavo, oh no, oh no. And I think Quavo also kind of feels like they made Cardi. Because y'all know, you know, Cardi was the mixtape looking like a quarter. Look at me. Hard. Look at me. That was her Offset. Now, that's when they first started dating. And nobody really knew if they were dating or not. But the Migos was hot. They were the biggest things in rap at that point. And once Cardi started dating Offset, you know, Bodak Yellow came not too soon after that. And then just boom, you know, a motorsport and you know all of that. So I feel like they feel like, you know, we had a lot to do with her being who she is. You know, if not for us, you know, she'd still be on, you know, over there begging DJ Self to give her a chance type of situation. So our affiliation pushed her to another level. And I would have, to a certain degree, I would say, and I'm not going to say that they made Cardi, no. But I do think that the connection that Cardi had with, because it was like, it was a reverse effect. Cardi came into the relationship as the small fish with Offset, and then Cardi blew up. And then when Cardi blew up, she became way bigger than Offset. She became bigger than the group. Cardi B became bigger than Migos at all. Like Migos who? You know, like at Cardi, you know. So yeah, so I'm not gonna say that they're like literally responsible for her career. No, I would not say that. I believe that would be giving them way too much credit. But I do think that yeah, it was definitely lucrative for Cardi to be hanging around the Migos. It definitely played to her benefit. It definitely did. I mean, she was literally rapping with the hottest, you know, group in the industry. And not only that, she's dating one. So it was all eyes on the Migos at the time. No matter where they went, interview, anything, people were all over them. Like they were like moths to a flame. So with Cardi being arm in arm with said individual, you know, it did definitely help. because she had the crowd, she had their attention, you know, because people were like, "Ooh, Cardi B, they, ooh, she went Offset, what, you know, so that made her 10 times more marketable instantly. It's like an overnight thing. Because that's when I first heard Cardi's music. Lick was the first song of Cardi's that I heard, and like, because I'm like, okay, this is cute, Cardi. I'm like, okay, girl. So I thought it was a cute song. I thought it was cute, and then I saw the video. I was like, "Oh, that Offset." I was like, "Okay, this is cute. This is cute." But hair flip. So yeah, I thought that was yeah. Let's like I said, I wouldn't say that they are the reason that Cardi is Cardi B. No, but it was a better boost than Love and Hip Hop. Absolutely, her being what Offset, not yeah, 10 times more publicity. All of that, wherever Offset is, absolutely. And then Cardi became bigger than everything, like bigger than the group, bigger than Offset. Yeah, she just kind of took off. So yeah. So I think that Quavo has all type of problems with I just think that he does not like her. And I don't think it's Cardi. I don't think Cardi has a problem with Quavo. I think Quavo has a problem with her. Because even you can hear Cardi, both of y'all wrong. So it's not like she was coming back there like F you Quavo, you know, like no, Cardi didn't go back there like that. She didn't. And I don't even think Cardi was speaking. I think Cardi was letting the men speak. And when it escalated, that's when Cardi started talking. That's when Cardi said something. I think she's just standing there, minding her own business. And then because her and Offset were about to go present. So she was waiting for him. Within that moment, if anything, she was waiting for Offset. So I don't know why they were walking past. If Offset just decided to go in and like, oh, okay, well, the Grammys asked me to join. Let me go see what's up with Quavo. So I think he went in knowing that there's tension, but you know, went in just thinking like, hey, we could put our differences aside. No different than the funeral, because they did put their issues aside for the funeral. They stood right next to each other. They spoke together. All of that during the funeral. So I feel that maybe Offset thought that they could have that moment again. And Quavo said, absolutely not. No, you tried. I don't want nothing to do with you, player. Is what that were. And neither did Takeoff. And then Offset, you know, like I like it happened quickly. I don't think it was something that was like building up. No, that happened fast. Yeah, I think that's what that were. And then with the footage of Offset coming out of, let me pull that up. Let me pull that up. Of Offset coming out. I think it's on my girl Millie. Shout out to my radio. I think it's on Mob's World. Let me, because I believe I saved it. I usually save anything. I'll just be like, ooh, and then I'll just save it. Give me just a second. I'm sure I saved it because I saved everything. Yep, I did. Perfect. Let me pull this up. Okay, you can clearly see this is right after the situation with Quavo and Takeoff. Sorry, Quavo and Offset, not Takeoff. God rest in peace. This is them walking him off. You know something just happened. Look at his face. Look at his posture. His dreads has shifted. You can tell something just happened. Shout out to Mob's World. You can tell. This is right after. Because Cardi came out first, and then Offset came out after. So when Cardi was talking, that is when I believe the physical altercation was happening. So you can tell that his energy coming out of that room where Quavo was, it's not good. It is not good. Whatever happened in there was not a good thing. He looks very upset. He looks pissed off, angry. He looks very angry. Coming out of that room, you could tell like the energy, like we don't like that. Absolutely. Offset had just put his hands on that boy. He absolutely did, and that's sad because no different than what Cardi said. You know, I think he does. I will say that too, Stephen. He does look hurt. His feelings do look hurt. He all type of emotions, is on his face, but you could tell he's definitely angry too. And when a lot of times when people are hurt, they are angry. When somebody does something to you, if somebody you really, 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 really care about says something to you verbally, sometimes it can hurt you enough to make you cry. But the whole time you be angry, the whole time. Or like that angry, sad cry, like when somebody is tempting you and they keep saying things to you and you want to put hands on them, but you like can't, or you're not supposed to. So it's like you start crying, but at the same time, like your fist balled up, and you want to do something, but that you shouldn't, type of situation. Is what it's given. Because again, sometimes words can hurt badly. Words hurt. They absolutely do. So yeah, I feel like that's what it's given. That he's so hurt that he's angry, about what had just transpired. So yeah, he does look hurt. I would say that too. But sometimes it definitely can do that. Somebody can say something to you that makes you so upset that you cry. Because you don't even know how else to express your emotions, right? Because there's so many emotions going through your body. Part of you is sad, part of you is kind of depressed, part of you is angry, part of you're just so many things, at once. I feel like the only emotion that can relieve that is to cry. Because crying is hard. People go through a lot of stuff and not cry, but crying is so relieving. Like it really is, because to just sit there and continuously think about something, like someone passing away, or something like that, and you just try to keep pushing or think of something else, something like that. So it's like you're just suppressing it. It's just like, no, have that cry, let it out, and then sometimes you'll just cry out of nowhere. Like you'll just be sitting there watching TV, and then all of a sudden you just you have no idea why you're crying. You're just like, what is wrong with me? Like, what is going on? It's the feeling that you just can't shake. So it's like you just got to let it happen. And as you're crying, just kind of figure out what is making me feel this way. What have I not dealt with? What have I suppressed that, and sometimes people hold back hurt when somebody very important to them, like the Good Times reference. I'll always use that damn. She's Florida waited all week after James had passed away, and she ain't say a word. She ain't cry. She ain't shit nothing. She was walking around cleaning up everything, handing people making plates. Like, oh, baby, you want some? You want seconds, baby? All of that. Trying to be strong because you don't want to, deal. You just don't want to deal. So I feel like crying is very relieving. It's a good thing. I always look at crying as a weakness. I always look at it as like, if you cry, you weak. So, especially as a man. So I would stay away from that. I would, that's why I'd be like years, when I cry, and stuff like, because I just try to bottle everything up and just keep going, because it'll just keep swimming, but that's not good, so now if something is bothering me, I'll let it. I try my hardest not to suppress things anymore, because it's going to find its way to affect you again, so it's best to just deal with it. So you can figure out how to move on, because we lose people, and that's one of the main things. So it's no different than with Quavo, no different than with Offset. That like I said, it's still very raw. So there's a lot of emotions because their life is still moving fast. Offset is still a very busy man. Quavo is still a very busy man. So sometimes we feel like we don't have time to cry. We don't have time to be sad. Like we don't have time to, it's too much going on around me. Like I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. So a lot of people will bottle things up, lose their mother, lose their father, lose a brother or a sister, cousin, best friend, and whatnot, and not cry, and just be like, I gotta be strong. I gotta do this. No, you ain't gotta do nothing but live. That's all you gotta do. And emotions are a part of being human. Okay. The human experience is living. So yeah, you deal with it. Let it out. It's very healthy, therapeutic, to cry. Because you have no idea how relieved you will feel after, because that type of energy can literally take over your body, literally take over your whole body. Absolutely. Being depressed and whatnot is extremely powerful. extremely powerful. So yeah, it's good to cry and to get that emotion out. And I think that there's a lot of words between Quavo and Offset that they have not said to each other. They're not talking to each other. You know, they absolutely are not. They may talk at each other, but they're not talking to each other. There's a lot of stuff that's bothering Quavo, and there's a lot of things that are bothering Offset, and they have not talked about it. Instead, they're letting their emotions rule their relationship, you know, and that's the thing. Like, y'all got to get over this. Like, y'all got to let this go. Because right now it's ego is what this is. That was Quavo's ego that didn't want Offset on that stage. And that was Offset's ego that I believe swung on Quavo. That was not how the men really feel about each other. They love each other. They will fight for each other before they fought each other. But they are both so saddened by what has happened, and they have not dealt with it. And again, when your life is moving fast, it's hard to. When you still got to work, you still got to provide, you still got mouths to feed, you still got a whole team and whatnot that's dependent on you. These celebrities don't just get the time to just walk away. They don't get that. They're contractually bound to a lot of things that they're doing. So when life happens, they got to pick up the flow and go. They don't get to, oh, well, he just lost a family member. So no, this ain't calling in to work. This ain't, not the things that they control, they can cancel. But anything that is they're contractually bound to, you don't get to just, oh, I lost a relative. So this show coming out in 6 months, and we still got 4 months of filming. We need you here. Our condolences, but when you pulling up, okay, I'm sorry that happened. But yeah, we gonna need you here as soon as possible. We're gonna need you on the I-10. You know what I mean? They don't get to just stop. They got to keep going. You know, and it's unfortunate. It very so much is, because they don't get to pause. You know, there is no pause button. It's all systems go. You know, so they're contractually bound to be on the stage, and you don't even feel like talking, let alone rapping or singing. You don't feel like doing none of that. You don't feel like being happy when you just feel like your world is shattering around you. Like, you don't want to get on a stage. You don't want to do none of that. You don't want to interview. You don't want to act. You don't want to record. You don't want to do any of those things. I mean, they already, Offset already pushed this album back. They're not about to let him keep doing that. No, they're not. Now, they'll show some, remorse, but this is a business. This is a business. So they're not just going to stop. And this is how they are creating mental illness throughout people. This is how they're doing it, by not letting them have a mental break, because mental health is real. It is very real. And these traumatic situations that these artists go through, they don't get time to heal from it. No different than Kanye. The main reason, besides Kanye having bipolar, the main reason he is how he is because they never let him heal from what happened to his mother. He didn't get a chance to take a break. He didn't get a chance to do any of those things. He had to learn how to cope with this trauma, losing somebody that important to him while working. Yeah, there is no pause. There is no So that trauma of not being able to deal with it, if y'all not gonna let me care about my mom dying, why should I care about anything else? Y'all could have cared less. My whole mama died, and y'all told me that I had to be on stage in 4 minutes. Usher, when his wife that he had multiple children with, her son, not his son, his stepson, had passed away on, I believe, a jet ski accident and whatnot. Usher was on stage bawling. Usher, that man was on stage crying his eyes out. He could barely get through a song. That man was so damaged and traumatized by what he had just heard. And he was still on stage. Could you imagine? Somebody tell you that your stepson, somebody you love, just passed, and then they go like this, hand you a microphone. And he's supposed to perform after getting that type of news? Yeah. These people paid their money. Get out there. Even if you got to cry into the microphone, oh well. What that got to do with us? After Quavo passed, Quavo, sorry, not Lord, not that. Takeoff passed. Cardi performed somewhere, but she got paid $1 million to do so. And they're like, oh well, they supposed to be so sad, but Cardi out here. It's a contract. I'm sure this girl probably don't even want to perform. She probably don't even want to be here. She's contractually bound. I mean, life doesn't end because someone's life ended. Like, no, life still goes on. Like, it absolutely does. So, I mean, it's like, girl. Shout out to Josie and Lauren, my sweethearts. I love you guys. Sean in here speaking facts on facts. Comments are king. Thank you so much. I love you too. Thank you so much, sweetie. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much. They could have waited. Who could have waited? Shout out to Blabber. Who could have waited? Deborah says, test trials and tribulations is very hard. Very hard. Very hard. Very hard. Absolutely very hard. Island says, right, shaking my head, I gotta entertain while I'm going through my personal BS, but my family still got to eat still. Absolutely. It's hard. It's hard. It's very hard. It's even hard for us working 9 to 5s. No matter where you work at. It would be hard to be at work. You on your way to work. And then as soon as you get there, you hear that. It's like, it's hard to do anything because all you want to do is like cry. But then that's how we are desensitizing ourselves because we feel like we got to be strong. You're at work. You got to be strong. So when my grandmother passed away, loved her. Like, she was my everything. When she passed away, I was at work. I went in the bathroom. Girl, I cried so hard. I was literally walking up to tables because I was serving at the time. I was literally walking up to tables like, welcome to Buffalo Wild Wings. Did you want to hear our specials? Like, girl, I was a mess. Like, I was literally a mess. They finally ended up sending me home because I was a mess. I wasn't no good. Girl, I was a mess. Oh, I was a mess. And I didn't even know I knew it was going to affect me. It's like it had been like 3 hours since my family member had called me and told me. So, and I was doing good. Like, for the first 3 hours, I would just like try to keep my mind off of it. Girl, it did not work. It did not work. Because I'm telling myself, be strong, be strong, be strong. Just finish this shift, go check on the family. And then I'm thinking about like how my mom felt, how my aunts felt, how my little brothers felt like. And then I just broke down because I'm just like, they need me. I'm like, I feel like my family needs me right now. So it was hard. It was a very hard loss. And it was very hard for me. So I broke down and I did not think that I would. I feel like, be strong, just get through the rest of your shift. Because, service, we get cut. If business gets really slow, then we'll get cut. So I just asked if I could be the first person cut because I heard, because my grandmother passed. So they was like, oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But my boss had asked, she was just like, well, did you need to, and I'm just like, thinking in my mind, I was like, well, there would really be no point for me to go home because my grandma doesn't live here. She lives in another state. So I'm like, even if I went home, I'm still gonna feel the same way, So I'm like, I might as well make some money, So that's how I felt. But girl, I was a mess. Like I was literally a mess. But I'm glad that I was because I got to get it out. Because if I would have held it in any longer, I don't think I would have dealt with it. I think I would have just kept bottling it up and not, but it felt really good to cry. Like, it felt really good. I felt so relieved after because it's the trying not to do something that's the inevitable. It's like, it's a feeling, Sean, let it happen. Like, it's okay, So but I'm just like, girl, that it took a lot. So I feel the same way with these artists. They're still human. They're still very so much human. What we go through, they go through. We're special and neither are they. Yeah, very sad situation between the two men. And again, I hope they can work it out. Shout out to Neek, I believe it was, for the Cash App. Thank you so much, sweetie. I love y'all with all of my heart. I have to work on the rest of these survivings. And I have to shout out to Some Fruit. Hi. I have to work on the rest of these survivings, and I also have to go to the gym. Okay, otherwise I would stay longer. But we're about to hit our 2-hour mark. Y'all are welcome. Y'all are welcome. Okay, I love y'all. And we will be live again soon. But I was definitely going live about this because I'm like, I literally just said this yesterday. Like, I'm saying I feel like you're lying. Like, I don't feel like you're telling the truth. I feel like an altercation did happen between you and Quavo. I don't feel that you are telling the truth. I think you're lying. So yeah, so I love you guys. I love you guys so much. And until the next show, you guys be safe. Thank you for all the super chats, super stickers. Thank you for liking the video. Continue to like the video, please. Thank you for subscribing and being part of the Shine Everywhere show. I love you guys so much. Until the next show, bye.
Fresh, 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 fresh.